Welcome to Crushing Kayfabe. My name is Jason Garish, and thank you for tuning in. Let's see what's going on. Do I even bother to speak about the Raiders? That abysmal show they had. I haven't even gotten to. I haven't seen much of it, just highlights. So, but I saw Minshew back in. I was like, "What the hell happened?" I thought AOC was starting. I don't know. Was that just conditional on, Devontae Adams? I don't know, and he did next to nothing with the Jets, so can't fault that anymore. Yeah, just a cluster, unfortunately. That offensive scheme and that offensive coordinator has to go. I'm sorry. Even the defense isn't. I mean, they made some, from what I saw in the highlights, some good plays, but they shouldn't be allowing that many points. I know they're probably. I didn't look at time of possession, but it's probably pretty skewed towards the Rams, I'm guessing. But not good at all. And you can't blame Devontae Adams on it either. That tight end, whose name eludes me right now, the guy's freaking amazing. The rookie we drafted this season. All right, let me see here. What else is going on? We had Wrestle Dream. We had a little bit more details come out about the whole AEW Warner Brothers deal. It looks like it's a possibility that Warner Brothers might actually own a small portion of AEW now, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Are we going to see more of kind of along the lines of what happened at WCW? Possibly, but I do find it a good thing that they have a vested interest in AEW, so maybe we'll see a little smarter decisions made, Maybe they'll actually have some good storylines and stop trying to hot shot ratings, which TNA did that years ago. WCW did that years ago, and it just didn't work. So many. I did a show a while ago, probably a couple of years ago, if I look back, about the comparisons between WCW, TNA, and AEW, and it's scary how Tony Khan just hasn't learned from history. What is that? Those who don't learn from history are destined to repeat it, kind of thing, and we're watching it unfold, unfortunately, because there's some great talent on there, lots of financial backing. Could be a real great show, could be a real good federation, could be a competitor to WWE, but they just blew it, unfortunately, just blew it. And I think the veterans there, I think, have just kind of, I don't want to say given up, but they're in their retirement. They're collecting a paycheck and going home, I don't see guys like Jericho and Adam Copeland, leading the way for a new generation, unfortunately. If they were at WWE, they might be, but not AEW. It's just, I think they see the writing on the wall and see what happens, I don't want to go another diatribe. I'm tired of talking about AEW, unfortunately. But has anybody heard anything about Bryan Danielson? What's really going on with him? Is he really retired? Is he really legit hurt? I don't know. Crazy. No real news on the Vince McMahon front. I have yet to see the Netflix documentary, unfortunately. Been crazy busy, unfortunately. Just not much time, but we'll get there. And I can give opinion on it from everybody, from all my trusted podcasters I listen to. I really doesn't sound like they revealed all that much. I still want to see it though. I still do. What else we got going on? We had SmackDown in Columbia, South Carolina. We had the Bloodline coming to the ring, with Jey Uso coming to the ring. Had a confrontation between him and Solo, so we're kind of laying the groundwork for a reunion of the original Bloodline here. I know that Jimmy tried to entice Jey back into the fold and he didn't bite, so see what happens there. After that, we had DIY versus Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly with DIY winning. We had Roman saying he's proud of Jay backstage. Once again, laying some groundwork down and possibly modifying Roman's character with a little bit of humility, which is going to make him even bigger a babyface, I think. Doing the smart things. I hope pretty soon I think you're going to see Heyman back into the fold. I really do. And they're going to get the, quote-unquote, get the band back together, I think, pretty soon. But Jay right now is embroiled in that feud with Braun Breaker. And I don't remember if it was Kevin Castle who originally said it, but he was saying that he thinks that the Bloodline's going to interfere with that match between Braun and Jay. And I hope he's right. I really do. I think that would be really cool to get him back in the fold. Now he's going, the enemy of my enemy type of thing. I think that's good. That's what they need to do. What do we got? We got Niven versus Lash Legend and with Legend winning, which is what they got to start putting them over, which is. Then we had Cody down to the ring, did his little speech, piping up, promoting Crown Jewel, all that crap. Can't wait till Crown Jewel's over. I hate this time of year because it's just a waste of time. Storyline for everything. They're toting around those Crown Jewel belts, and they're nice looking belts, but in the grand scheme of things, meaningless, and I think it weakens the brand. Because one brand is going to have to win over the other. I think it's going to be 50-50 book, and I think one brand's going to win over the other. But something that I wasn't thinking about is this could actually lead to storylines in Survivor Series. Because historically, what do we have Survivor Series? We have brand against brand. So maybe this is what they need to do to say, hey, you guys won, Crown Jewel, but guess what? You're not going to win, War Games at Survivor Series. So that should be fun. War Games is always a great, fun match. Let's see, what do we got? We had A-Town Down versus the debut of Motor City Machine Guns versus, what is it? Del Fantasmo there, or whatever they're calling themselves today. I popped. I think I was probably one of the few. People think I'm crazy, but one of my favorite feuds, as far as tag team feuds go, was Motor City Machine Guns versus Beer Money in TNA. Absolutely loved that. I love that series. I love the whole thing. And Motor City's Machine Guns have been one of my favorite tag teams for years now. I love those guys. I mean, Sabin, Shelley looking older, especially Chris Sabin. Man, he looks old, but I mean, aside from one little miscue in there, I think it was against what's his name there? I almost said Alex Shelley against the A-Town there against Brain Theory, and Sabin missed a kick by like a mile, and the camera had it focused dead center. It looked horrible. That was the only time I really said that I really saw miscue between these guys. These guys, Motor City Machine Guns and whatnot, those guys, Shelley and Sabin, been together for so many years and have such great chemistry together. And Shelley was trying to get that crowd going. I wish it had kept the old theme song. I didn't like that they changed the theme song because I kept wanting to hear that familiar Motor City, part of the chorus of that, their familiar theme song. I think they would have gotten over better if they had done that. But I guess the new one's okay. I don't know if TNA owns the rights and they weren't willing to give it up. That was just stupid. The TNA and WWE obviously have a good working relationship now, so why do something petty like that? But that goes back to Dixie Carter type stuff. It's stupid. Although Dixie Carter is looking like an amazing booker in comparison to Tony Khan now. But I believe they piped in the crowd noise. during the entrance, unfortunately, which is they probably had to do, and I'm kind of glad they did. But at the same time, it just kind of shows. I know I bust on AEW a lot, but the AEW fans tend to know a little bit more about the indie stuff than WWE fans. You know, I think at the live events there's probably a large contingent of casuals, and they had absolutely no idea who Motor City Machine Guns was. What they probably could have done to build this up was to show the history. You know, maybe they tried to do this. I don't know. Maybe TNA shot them down, but they should have shown the history of their historic matches, you know, throughout the years. And I think that would have been immensely helpful if they built that up. It was cool. The little teaser vignettes were great. They were great. And, kind of got our appetite whetted. But if they, like the previous week, if they had shown a 5-minute vignette with, you know, this is Chris Sabin, this is Alex Shelley, this is what they've done. And like, I can't remember who said it, but this is the tag team that other tag teams, that's their favorite, I think he said. And that's kind of true. I mean, they are the tag team of tag teams, you know, but really glad to see them win. Incredibly glad to see them win. And they elevated everyone in this match. They did. And they made everyone look good. So, I'm glad to see them here. I personally, I think the original plan was to bring them to NXT and have them work with the NXT guys down there and maybe bring them up after a couple of months, get them familiar with the WWE audience, etc. I think the reason why they changed that plan was because of the inability to get, the Lucha Brothers onto the main roster immediately, because I've been seeing and hearing rumors that Rey Fenix's contract is still being tied up because of the whole injury thing. Tony Khan is doing a middle finger to the WWE and extending his contract. And he's under his legal rights to do so, but it's still a rotten thing to do, man. I think that this spot here was probably going to be for the Lucha Brothers. That's my guess, you know. Am I glad to see Motor City Machine Guns? Absolutely. It would be fun if the WWE could sign James Storm and get Bobby Roode out of the producer's chair for a little while and maybe do a one-off match. I think that would be great with Beer Money and Motor City Machine Guns. See it one more time. You know, I think that would be fun. I really do. That's assuming that Bobby Roode can still go. I don't know his physical shape and stages. James Storm is very active on the independent scene right now, but his conditioning, especially as he gets older, is not very good, and he needs to be in tag team matches. I would love to see if they brought Storm in, pair him up with LA Knight for a little while, because their stuff in NWA was pure gold. The chemistry between those two guys combined with their charisma was just incredible. And I'm getting a phone call right now. I am so sorry. Let me turn this down so that we can continue with the show. But yeah, I would love to see that. I think it would be great. But who am I? You know, let's see. I made a note here that I missed the old Motor City Machine Guns theme song. Absolutely. What do we have next? Bayley Naomi versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Candice and Nia win with, I believe, Candice getting the pin. Interesting. So do we see Tiffany turn on Nia and Candice become her new bestie? Possibly. We had Roman go out to the ring. Solo comes out to the ring. Roman acknowledges Solo, but he does not acknowledge him as the tribal chief. Solo says that that's not good enough and he needs to acknowledge him as the tribal chief. Bloodline comes out with a beaten Jimmy Uso. And Reigns and Roman, I put, wow. Solo and Roman get into it. Bloodline attacks Roman. Solo, or I should say Roman picks up Solo, but Solo low blows him. Bloodline continues the attack, and Jimmy and Roman are both beaten down. No Jay. And I made a little note here that I still hate the new SmackDown logo. I think it looks generic and I hate it. Sorry. Let's talk about Raw now. How much time we got? About 12 minutes. Rhea starts off the show, is of course interrupted by everyone, I think, in the entire female roster, and chaos ensues. As usual, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control is next. Bianca with the pin for the win. We had a vignette from American Made, an annoying one. They've moved on from the whole Wyatt 6 thing. So where's the Wyatt 6? What are we doing here? I want to see a Wyatt 6 get into it with the Judgment Day and then Bloodline. The new Bloodline. I think that would be great. Just because it falls in line with their whole betrayal thing of family and friends. I think if they went after both of those factions, I think it would make logical sense. I really do. And have some great matches on some pay-per-views with those guys. They don't even have to wrestle until the pay-per-views. Be an attraction until then. It's just my own feelings. Annoying vignette. Then we had Braun Breaker promo / vignette, which was pretty good. I'm liking Braun's mic work. I like him a lot. He's going to be a major star. Someday he will be champion of the, heavyweight champion, I think. Let's see. We had Bronson Reed and Pierce vignette. So far, it's been the night of vignettes on Raw. Trying to set the match with Seth. Had Alpha Academy versus the War Raiders with Raiders looking trimmed down, looking a lot better. No Valhalla, though, I thought, which is kind of weird. The Raiders win. The only Raiders to win this week. Pierce and Seth backstage. Then we had Cody out to the ring. Gunther interrupts, obviously promoting Crown Jewel. Cody kind of phoned it in. I don't know if he's totally into this, but missed. I have a little notation that I missed 90% of this anyway because my wife and child talked over it the entire time. So, but we had Gunther calling Cody a secondary champion. I was able to get that part, and Cody and Gunther shake hands, which is kind of weird. I don't know if that was the right way to go with this, but next we had Kofi Kingston versus Braun Breaker. Braun wins that, beat down on Kofi. Xavier with the save, but he gets beaten down. Jey Uso comes out and spears and super kicks Braun. Then we had R-Truth versus The Miz, with R-Truth winning. But Final Testament comes out and Miz beats down the Truth. Let's see, we had Jimmy looking around backstage, and I kind of alluded to this later in the SmackDown edition or portion of this show, but he finds his brother, they exchange words. Jay says no, we already knew this. Rhea and Tiffany against Liv and Raquel. I think this is the first time I've seen Raquel in the ring since returning. So we have Nia interfering with this, coming out to having things resulting in no contest. Nia incapacitates Liv, which Liv weighs 90 pounds, so big deal. Nia prods Tiffany to cash in on Liv. I thought this was great. Great storytelling here. It's duh. Why not, try to pin Liv when she's down? That was brilliant, I thought. Real good. Some real good storytelling. But unfortunately, Dom pulls Liv away before Tiffany can pin her. So we don't have Tiffany with the title belt, which is kind of too bad because that would have been an interesting thing. But then it would have been Tiffany versus Nia at Crown Jewel. That might have worked. Maybe they missed the misfire. Maybe they missed the moment here. I don't know. Maybe they that might have been cool if they had her pin Liv and then have them Tiffany and her compete at Crown Jewel. I'm kind of thinking this, booking over here. Let's see. Well, that was, our WWE wrestling. Nothing else kind of comes into my head right now. Gearing up for Crown Jewel. Is Crown Jewel next week? Let me see. Let's see. Crown Jewel. Maybe I can find it real quick. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think it is this week. We can get it out of the way and start looking towards Survivor Series, which is what I want to do. They're going to have to jam a whole lot of storytelling in after Crown Jewel, though. November 2nd. So, let's see, 28, not quite, right? Is it next? Wow. Should I calendar in front of me? No, it's not. Because that's a week from this Saturday. Oh my goodness, there's more of this crap coming. Oh, I can't do this. Alright, alright, well, we'll all suffer through Crown Jewel together and, have another week of, garbage storytelling. I just saw an announcement that Top Star is going to miss no CM Punk or no Drew McIntyre is scheduled to appear at Crown Jewel. That's fine. I think it's smart to keep them off of TV for a little bit. Both of those guys got to sell it a little bit, and I think that's a smart thing to do. So that doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Sorry, internet wrestling community. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in, and check us out on CrushingKayfabe.com, crushing with a K, so CrushingKayfabe.com. Check us out on Patreon. Become a patron for $1 a month. I think that's a real good deal. We can help keep the lights on here. I'm trying my darndest to make the production value better of the show with the lighting and the sound and whatnot. So I appreciate every little bit. Thank you everyone that's reached out. And, I can't always get to everyone's requests, unfortunately. Just been crazy lately. It's going to get even crazier with the holidays coming up, so I'm sorry. It's not that I'm purposely ignoring anybody or anything. It's just that it's so jam packed right now. It's hard to get anything done at this point. But thank you everybody for supporting the show, tuning in. Check out Then and Now if you're in the Western Tennessee area. Check them out in Trenton, right downtown, right across from the courthouse. You can't really miss them. They're right in the square. So. Trenton, Tennessee, Then and Now. We got some stuff for sale in there, and a lot of really cool vendors. So yeah, check that out definitely. And what else we got going on? That's it as far as events and everything. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot booked right now outside of that, but it's gonna be crazy. Like I say, wishing everybody a safe, happy time, and thank you for tuning in, and God bless. Thank you.